Coming up next on Bear News, we have how the vote is impacting Bears. We also have the latest movie review on a new comedy.
The football team took on nationally ranked Cal Poly last Saturday. How they do? I'll have highlights in sports.
And, well, it just became fall, but we're going to take a look at the weather, the winter in weather.
We've got all that and more on this episode of Bear News. Stay tuned. Thanks for joining us today on Bear News. I'm Jen Gamarano.
And I'm Jamie Arterburn. The 2012 Vice President debate gave Joe Biden and Paul Ryan a chance to be put on the spot during the only forum of its kind this election. With more control than the first debate, both candidates burned through topics more than the presidential debate.
I can make absolutely two commitments to you and all the American people tonight. One, we will find and bring to justice the men who did this. And secondly, we will get to the bottom of it, and wherever the facts lead us, wherever they lead us, we will make clear to the American public, because whatever mistakes are made will not be made again.
Look, if we are hit by terrorists, we're going to call it for what it is, a terrorist attack.
We can and we will get it under 6%. Let's take a look at the facts. Let's look at where we were when we came to office. The economy was in free fall. We had the Great Recession hit. 9 million people lost their job. $1.6 trillion in wealth lost, in equity in your homes and retirement accounts for the middle class.
Joe and I are from similar towns. He's from Scranton, Pennsylvania. I'm from Janesville, Wisconsin. You know what the unemployment rate in Scranton is today?
I sure do.
It's 10%.
Yeah.
You know what it was the day you guys came in? 8.5%. That's how it's going all around America. Look.
You don't read the statistic. That's not how it's going. It's going down, Medicare.
Here's the problem. They got caught with their hands in the cookie jar, turning Medicare into a piggy bank for Obamacare. Their own actuary from the administration came to Congress and said, 1 out of 6 hospitals and nursing homes are going to go out of business as a result of this.
Quickly. The bottom line here is that all the studies show that if we went with Social Security proposal made by Mitt Romney, if you're 40, in your 40s now, you'll pay $2,600 a year more. You get $2,600 a year less than Social Security. If you're in your 20s now, you get $4,700 a year less.
We have 3 bottom lines. Don't raise the deficit, don't raise taxes on the middle class, and don't lower the share of income that is borne by the
middle class will pay less, and people making $1 million or more will begin to contribute.
If these cuts go through, our Navy will be the smallest it has been since before World War I. This invites weakness. Look, do we believe in peace through strength? You bet we do, and that means you don't impose these devastating cuts on our military.
Look, I want to move on. We don't cut it, and I might add, this so-called, I know we don't want to use the fancy word sequester, this automatic cut, that was part of a debt deal that they asked for. And
now, I understand this is a difficult issue, and I respect people who don't agree with me on this, but the policy of a Romney administration will be to oppose abortion with the exceptions for rape, incest, and life of the mother.
But I refuse to impose it on equally devout Christians and Muslims and Jews, and I just refuse to impose that on others, unlike my friend here, the congressman. I do not believe that that we have a right to tell other people that women they can't control their body. It's a decision between them and their doctor.
Honesty? Well, no one else could. There are plenty of fine people who could lead this country. But what you need are people who, when they say they're going to do something, they go do it. What you need are when people see problems, they offer solutions to fix those problems. We're not getting that.
Let me tell you, my record stands for itself. I never say anything I don't mean. Everybody knows whatever I say, I do. And my whole life has been devoted to leveling the playing field for middle-class people, giving them an even break.
Bear News will have an election special on election night breaking down the results. Make sure to tune in to our YouTube page as well as Channel 98.
The 2012 presidential election is right around the corner. Are you ready to vote? Traditionally, college students have not turned out to cast their votes. Bear News reporter Megan Pressler is here to tell us more about college voters during this very controversial and memorable election season.
The 2012 election is just around the corner. We have a little less than 3 weeks to decide if Obama or Romney will be in the office. Let's see if UNC students will cast their vote at the polls this year.
I am going to vote this election.
And why are you going to vote?
I'm going to vote because I feel like I need to make a difference in our country, and I just feel like every vote matters.
I'm going to vote because I have the right to make at least some influence on the decisions being made for me.
I haven't decided yet if I'm going to vote. So.
Yes, I'm going to vote this year.
And why are you going to vote?
I'm voting because, voting and casting our say really determines everything that we do in our lives.
Are you going to vote this election?
I am not.
Okay, and why are you not going to vote?
To be honest with you, I just haven't gotten around to register.
Yes, I think it's important for students to vote.
And why are you going to vote?
I'm going to vote because I think it's important to put in your word for what you stand for and what you would like the government to do.
Are you going to vote in this 2012 election?
Yes.
Okay, and why are you going to vote?
I'm not sure.
Why are you going to vote?
Because it's going to determine the difference of what's going to happen within the next 4 years. I mean, our country's gone up and down lately, and I think it's time to actually get somebody in office that can maybe change some things.
Why are you going to vote?
I'm not totally sure. I think it's important to have a say in who we want ruling us.
I'm voting because I think it's important for this generation to start making decisions about our country because we are going to be the leaders.
It's the first time I could vote. I was just really excited to kind of get everything out on the table, get all my views together, and really make an informed decision.
Yes, I'm going to vote.
And why are you going to vote?
Because I believe every vote counts, and so the best candidate should win.
The presidential candidates are going to say, I can do this or I can do that, but really you can't find out until you get them in office. So basically, if nothing else, just vote. If you don't vote, don't complain.
This is Megan Pressler reporting live from UNC campus for Bear News.
Election Day is on November 6th, so be sure and make your voice heard and vote. The UNC Police Department has responded to multiple reports of stolen bikes as well as thefts of wallets and purses from unlocked offices and cars on campus. An email was sent out by the UNC PD to remind students of how to prevent theft from happening to them. Here are some tips on how to prevent this from happening to you. When parking your vehicle on campus, place valuable items out of sight and always lock your car. Try not to leave book bags, purses, laptops, or other valuable items unattended while on campus. While securing bikes on campus, use a U-lock or a heavy cable. These types of locks make it harder for thefts to steal your bike. It is imperative that the university community reports criminal and suspicious activity to the UNC Police Department. Timely reports allow for timely response and eventually lead to a safer campus.
Lately, it has felt more like summer than fall. I'm wondering if that will change soon. Bear News meteorologist Paul Ford has your first look at weather. Paul?
Hey, thanks, Jamie. Right now, we've got pretty clear skies right now with about 61 degrees right now and about 24% humidity. About 12-mile-per-hour winds coming from the east, not quite as bad as we had before, but that's nothing to worry about for now. Taking a look at our winter outlook, National Weather Service just released this afternoon. We've got a 40% chance that the temperatures will be above average, so we're looking at average temperatures around the 20 to 30 degree mark. So hopefully we might actually see some upper 30s, even some 40s this coming winter, with the Midwest seeing around 20% chance and the upper plains at about 30% themselves. Looking at the percentage of precipitation, we've got the Midwest at about 10 to 20% precipitation and about a little bit drier in the Michigan area. But Colorado, as you can see, will be about equal precipitation, so we're expecting quite a bit of snow. And if you head closer to the Florida area, we're going to see quite a bit more snow for the time of year. Coming up in weather, we're going to take a closer look at the wind chances that we've had the past couple days, and are we going to see any temperature changes, since you know it's pretty different in October. And I've got your 7-day forecast. Back to you guys.
Do you miss your loved ones but don't have time to go home? Well, tomorrow kicks off the UNC's annual Friends and Family Weekend. The university is using this weekend to showcase the best UNC has to offer. Starting on Friday, the festivities kick off with a discounted dinner at the dining hall for only $7 at 5 p.m. Later that night, starting at 8:30 p.m., the Center for Peer Education presents bingo for a chance to win an iPod or other great prizes. Bingo is free for all who decides to come to the University Center ballrooms that night. Then at 8 a.m. on Saturday, the Campus Recreation Center is hosting a 5K fun run and walk. It's $15 to register and prizes will be awarded. After enjoying your prime rib brunch in the dining halls, head down to Nottingham Field for a discounted price on the Bears football game against Idaho State at 1:35 p.m. Saturday night concludes with a comedy club at 8 p.m. featuring Ronnie James in the University Center ballrooms. For more details, contact the UNC Student Activities Office.
Coming up after the break, we'll let you know if Pitch Perfect was perfect. And also we'll have the latest information about studying abroad. Stay tuned to Bear News. We're back in just 60 seconds. Have you seen people walking around without shoes and are wondering why? Well, Bear Catholics silently protest abortion during the second week of October by walking around barefoot in remembrance of the victims. One of the Barefoot for Babies coordinators, Megan Lowe, says the bare feet is a symbol to the cause.
She's not going to read the rest of hers.
Barefoot for Babies happens once a year with activities ranging from speakers to 33,000 crosses out on the UC lawn.
Protest for all of the unborn babies that get aborted daily. There's 3,300 babies in the U.S. that get aborted daily, and so they'll never live on this earth. They never get to feel the ground beneath their feet, and so we go barefoot for them.
At the University of Northern Colorado, there are many myths about studying abroad, ranging from fears to finances. These myths keeps the Center of International Education pretty busy. CIE is dedicated to not only debunking the myths, but getting students off of campus and out experiencing other cultures. Lauren Bruce, a self-proclaimed mythbuster and CIE coordinator, talks about the importance of studying abroad.
And seeing that there's other perspectives in the world can really open your eyes. There's a higher graduation rate for students who study abroad. They perform better academically. A lot of students come back and are more dedicated to their careers or their majors. I think there's a misconception that study abroad is really...
In order to promote the services, CIE hosts a number of educational and cultural events. One of their larger events is the World Expo Fair, where students can learn about studying abroad as well as about other cultures. The CIE office houses a number of international programs. They offer something for every student. And still, a very small minority of UNC students takes the advantage of their resources. So why aren't students taking the opportunity? Thanks, Brianna. The Center of International Education is located on the upper level of the University Center, and it is open from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Students do not need an appointment to meet with the CIE advisor. With midterms coming to an end, students are looking for a good laugh. Bear News' Megan Pressler has the latest review on the newest comedy, Pitch Perfect. Megan, is it real good?
Oscar season is fast approaching. Before you start catching all the dramatic Oscar bait, make sure you take the time to go laugh at Picture Perfect. The plot is simple. Aspiring music producer Becca, who is played by Anna Kendrick, is forced into going to college by her father. She is convinced a college education will get her nowhere and slacks off until he makes her a deal. He says Becca must join at least one club and try to have a good time. If she doesn't, he offers to let her drop out and pay for her to move to Los Angeles and pursue her dreams. Then Becca stumbles upon one of the university's a cappella groups. She auditions, and we find out that she has an inspiring singing voice. No surprise there, it is a singing movie. She inspires the very conservative a cappella group to take some risks with their singing in hopes of winning the national title. Anna Kendrick is great as Becca, but it's Rebel Wilson who stole the show. Rebel plays Fat Amy, the exaggerated comic relief of the movie. Wilson is fairly new to the acting scene, but it's pretty safe to say we'll be seeing more of her soon. Pitch Perfect has similar humor as movies like Bridesmaid and The Hangover. It pushes the audience to the brink of feeling uncomfortable, but still finding themselves laughing at the situations the characters get themselves into. It has a fairly predictable movie, but the humor made up for that. And of course, we can't forget to mention the soundtrack. There were some really great remixes and unique arrangements of songs. The actors actually learned to sing a cappella also. Give this film a chance before you compare it to Glee or High School Musical.
Thanks, Megan. It's hilarious and a feel-good movie that may be just what you need after a long week of school and work. Looking to get some UNC apparel? Well, we have a deal for you. Bear News reporter Jocelyn Acosta-Martinez has all the UNC fashion tips.
Bookstore and fan shop is located inside the University Center, where dozens of shoppers come across a wide variety of products each day. The store is also known for the great deals they offer for their customers on the clearance section. From 25% off to 75% off UNC gear is available for men and women of all ages. We talked to a couple of sales associates about what their favorite items are, as well as what they recommend for their customers.
I love like our hoodie stuff. We've got a lot of really cool hoodies, and they always go on clearance and that stuff. I definitely say the hoodies. I like the comfort and comfortable.
The clearance aisle displays affordable clothing throughout every season, aiming for affordable clothing for students who are running on a tight budget. Reporting from the bookstore fan shop at the University Center, Jocelyn Acosta-Martinez, Bear News.
Thanks, Jocelyn. I'm excited to see some great fashion on campus now. The saying "sweet revenge" gets a whole new meaning for sociology students. The sociology honorary fraternity Alpha Kappa Delta hosts a Pie Your Professor fundraiser where students get to pie their sociology professor. Bear News reporter Samantha Fox shows us how students get a whipping payback for their last test.
And sweet revenge.
I just need a line of professors.
AKD held their annual fundraiser, Pie Your Professor. Students got to pay money to pie any professor of their choosing in the sociology department in the face. Professors seemed to have as much fun as the students did, especially with a little bit of a whipped cream facial. But even after the whipped cream was smeared, professors knew they had the upper hand because grades are not due yet. This reporter couldn't pass up the opportunity to pie some of her professors in the face, especially after that religion test last week.
Lots of writing.
Yep. Over here. No.
There it is.
Reporting from outside Candelaria, I'm Samantha Fox, Bear News.
Always a great way to get revenge for the tests and papers we have to do throughout the semester.
So, Paul, this week was crazy. It kept me up all night. Can you tell us what's going on?
Well, Jenna kept me up all night, too. There were a lot of factors that went into that wind. Plus, we actually have a high wind warning in the state right now. I'll let you know more about that after the break. Welcome back to Bear News. I'm meteorologist Paul Four. Taking a look outside, you can see that red in the leaves signifying it is fall, and it looks pretty beautiful out there. But what wasn't beautiful was all that wind that we were experiencing lately. Tuesday night at around 9:15, National Weather Service reported in Greeley, Colorado, northeast winds at around 38 miles per hour, and they were gusting up to about 55 miles per hour. I'm in a giant brick building, and I could easily hear all those winds. Wednesday, we had a constant gust of over 30 miles per hour from about 9:35 a.m. till about 5:30 p.m. It was a crazy day yesterday. Taking a look at the state right now, we've got this high wind warning right now and a little bit of a red flag warning going on over West Colorado right now. That just means please be aware of doing anything that could potentially cause a fire if you are in any of these surrounding areas. It only slightly covers Greeley, but you better be safe than sorry. Taking a look at the surface map right now, we see this pressure system right here. It's a low pressure system, and this is actually what caused all of that wind that we've experienced the past 2 days. If we take a look up in the 700 millibars area you can see this rotating system right here that actually is causing all of this wind to go straight up through there, which is causing all those 40-mile-per-hour gusts through the area. It's experiencing areas like Kansas and Montana and the Dakotas as well. As you can see right here, all that orange right there is a high wind warning. It doesn't affect Greeley right now. As you can see, we're only at about 12-mile-per-hour winds right now. But areas like Akron and Sterling right now, it's only about an hour and a half from here, is at a gust around 46 miles per hour. And Sterling is at gust over 55 miles per hour. As you can see, it's those northwest winds experiencing again. And further east, we've got gusts over 60 miles per hour if you're in areas like Nebraska or South Dakota. Take a look at the temperatures right now. We've got 57 degrees in Denver, 56 in Colorado Springs. And if you head into the mountain area, 39 degrees in Frisco, but not bad if you're going to the Arapahoe Ski Basin. It is actually open right now if you're looking to get a little skiing or snowboarding. Looking at the radar right now, as you can see, that pressure system is experiencing in areas like Iowa and Illinois and even Indiana, but it's pretty dry here. If you take a closer look to Colorado, it is nice and clear skies. Highs for today was about 61 degrees. That's where we're at right now. Only a degree below average. Same with the low for today. Just missed it. Hoping one day we get on the money right there. Take a look at the future cast right now. Clear skies. As you can see, we got that system off to the northeast right now. But as you can see, it just slowly goes away as we go through the night. Forecast for tonight, 7 o'clock tonight, we're looking at clear skies at about 54 degrees, gradually getting colder up until your morning commute at about 32 degrees in the morning. Tomorrow's forecast, though, 72 degrees, winds aren't a problem, and it's sunny. Beautiful day, if you ask me. And looking at the 7-day forecast, we're seeing 80 degrees on Saturday, but it will gradually get colder. But the good news is don't see a cloud in sight. And also this weekend is the homecoming game against Idaho State. If you plan to tailgate at around 11 o'clock, we're seeing might want to bring a light jacket if you plan to be out there at about 58 degrees. But at kickoff at around 1:35 in the afternoon, 70 degrees, still clear skies. And by the end of the game, you won't want that jacket anymore as it will be 80 degrees. Now and if anyone knows about that homecoming game, it's going to be Ben Warwick with the sports.
Hey, thanks, Paul. Coming up in sports, the volleyball team had an important homestand. I'll have full highlights and results coming up right after this. Well, the struggles continue for the UNC football team. This time they dropped their contest to Cal Poly, but they gave the Mustangs a run for their money. The team was without All-American linebacker Clarence Bumpus, who's down for the season with a torn pectoral muscle. They did, however, manage to keep pace with the Mustangs, at least for the first half. Seth Lobato continues to put up nice numbers. He was 27 for 37 with 278 yards passing and 2 touchdowns, one to Jace Davis and one to Darren McDonald. Dom Gunn continues his special teams dominance with 104 yards on returns. Defensively, Marcel Gibbons led the attack with 12 tackles. Jordan Bible had 9. On the Mustang side, QB Andre Brodhouse went 9 for 12 with 2 touchdowns. On the ground, Deontay Williams had 117 and 3 touchdowns. Cal Poly racked up 519 yards of total offense to the Bears' 361, though the Bears did win the time of possession battle. Mustangs, ranked in the top 15, would go on to win it 56-28, dropping the Bears to 1-5. UNC Volleyball continues to roll on in conference play. Last week, the Lady Bears took on conference rival Northern Arizona Lumberjacks. And folks, this one was a big one. Winner of this match goes ahead of their opponent in the Big Sky standings. Here we go. First set. Girls looking strong as ever. Kelly Arnold here with the cross-court hit. And Arnold yet again. Brianna Strong hitting through the middle. Andrea Spoustat contributing consistently. And then none other than Marissa Hughes with the roof block to put the Bears up 21-6. She's only 5'8". But that doesn't stop her from that or this. Bears using momentum from the first set to get a jump start. In the second game, Andrea Spoustat dishing out back-to-back blocks to start it off. However, momentum can take a turn for the worse quickly. Northern Arizona's Jamie Vanderploeg starts a rally after this cross-court kill. Bears go on to lose the second set 20-25. On to the third game. Bears having a little bit of trouble digging those lumberjack kills like this one, for example. NAU would go on to win the fourth set as well, 25-17. Bears dropped the match for 3-1. Well, this first home Big Sky loss for the Bears drops them to 15-3 overall and 6-3 in conference, falling behind the Lumberjacks in the standings. Looking to keep pace in the conference, the volleyball team went up against Southern Utah this Saturday at home. The Bears came out strong during the first set. This block was part of a 9-0 run to put the Bears ahead. Defense did a great job helping to support the offense. Andrea Spostat with 2 digs off a couple of rocket shots. Bears would cruise through the first set 25-14. Spostat was on her game with a solid 12 kills, while on the other side you can see a huge kill from Kelly Arnold, a part of her 12 kills. Thunderbirds kept it close in the second set, but the Bears' outside hitters were too much for the T-Birds to handle. The Bears took the second set 28-26. Tamber Haddock with a clean kill in the third set helped spring the Bears to a 6-0 run and a completion of the sweep. Well, on Thursday, the Bears will be testing their record on the road against the Montana Grizzlies. The UNC soccer girls were tested for the full 90 minutes and 2 10-minute overtimes last Friday. The Bears and the Thunderbirds both went scoreless in the first half. Despite the lack of goals, UNC dominated in shots on goal and set shots throughout the half. Many opportunities seemed to slip through their hands. UNC's defense was a wall during the first half, only letting 1 shot on goal, which was stopped by keeper Natalie Dadamio. Maddie Yazwa broke the scoreless drought 7 minutes into the first. Again, the Bears controlled the ball for most of the second half and had 10 shots on goal. With only 8 minutes remaining in the second half, Southern Utah Stacy Brinkman puts a shot out of the reach of Dadamio. The game would end up going to overtime. UNC had a couple of great chances to break the tie, but came up short each time. Last Friday, the basketball teams unofficially kicked off their seasons at Butler Hancock with the annual Bear Madness. Included in the night were team introductions, the raising of the WNIT banner from last year's women's run, a scrimmage between both teams, and a 3-point contest. Tate Unruh is going to be money from 3 this year. He won the contest. Also included in the evening was a dunk contest. That's celebrity judge Neil Kingman on hand to watch the guys show off their stuff, and Tim Huskisson did just that. Monster slam here, and guess what? He's going to do it again. Perfect 10 on that one. Well-deserved. Basketball kicks off November 2nd. Basketball preseason polls aren't out yet, but the honors are starting to roll in for UNC's women's team. Tashara Strange, entering her junior year, was named the preseason Big Sky Player of the Year and first team All-Big Sky by College Sports Madness. Along with Strange, freshman Bailey Purdy was tabbed as the league's Freshman of the Year, while senior Lauren Osdike was named to the All-Conference second team. Coach Jamie White was named Big Sky Coach of the Year. These aren't put out by the Big Sky, but still honors nevertheless. The Big Sky media polls were released earlier today. The women's team was voted in second, and the men's team voted fourth. Let's take a look at what's coming up in the next week. Football comes home to take on 1-5 Idaho State. Should be a good chance for a W. We'll see. Kickoff is at 1:30 at Nottingham. Soccer wraps up their 2012 campaign with 2 road games, one at Idaho State and one at Weber State. If they win out, they'll be right back here in Greeley for the Big Sky Championship. Volleyball team has hit the halfway point in their Big Sky schedule. They play at Montana State on Friday. That game is at 7 p.m. and at Montana on Saturday. Tip for that one is at noon.
After the break, we'll show you a yummy and easy way to make some tacos.
Stick around, we'll be right back. Well, dinner time is approaching fast. For those of you who need help deciding what you would like to eat, maybe we can help. Bear News reporter Megan Priestler shows us how to satisfy that Mexican food craving.
Taco casserole, and you can whip it up in just a couple. You'll use about 1.5 cups of cheese.
Sorry for those technical difficulties. You're just gonna have to look for those tacos next week, I guess.
Bummer.
But we'll see you again next week.
Thanks
for watching Bear News.
Sorry.
Have a good night.